Okay, guys, here we go. Let's see. We got 7 people in the room, but I can't see me, and I imagine you can't see me either. Thanks, guys, for being my guinea pig. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Let's start there. Hi, Jill. What's up? Flatline Racer. What's up? Crazy Train. I got to figure out how to turn. Okay. I got to turn around my camera, I'm presuming. Um, wait a second. Aha! Whoa! We are live. I apparently have one of those built-in NSA slidey thingies to cover my camera. Holy cow! Guys, thank you for joining me. Tommy Stacking.nyc, my first YouTube live. This is awesome, guys. So I figured that, I wanted to do a little bit of stuff on YouTube. It'll help me produce more content. It'll help me stay accountable to producing the content that you all deserve. R.A. Grizz, Charlie Mack, Tomorrow's Coins, Chris Laverso. Now, some of you guys I know, Clint White. Now, some of you I know because I know names. I can associate you with your Instagram, but I don't know. Let's see. Jelly Bean, I know that is Jill. Charlie Mack, that's easy. Tomorrow's Coins, not sure. Chris Laverso, I know that's Silver Trident Metals. Mike Chase, I'm not sure. Clint White, I know that's Commerce Coin Company. Plan with a D. What's up, guys? 19 people. I'm going to tell you, if I can figure out how this works, right? Plan with a D. Plans. I don't know. Matt Brown in the house. Guys, thanks so much. So this is interesting. It's an interesting format. This is the first time I'm doing this. So thank you so much for being my guinea pigs, my silver degenerates guinea pigs. I love this. I see Shrekky Lou and Flatline Racer. I know you. MG11, Mark, how are you? This is great, guys. I want to do a little bit of metals talk tonight. And yeah, we're going to start off a little rocky because, yeah, it's definitely a first time for me. And I just got to get used to streaming from my laptop. Plan with a D. Gets a free ounce of silver. The original BMB, Brandon. So I wanted to talk a little bit about silver. And maybe if we get enough people in here, I'll even do a giveaway. Let's see. I can never stay on focus here. Plan with a D. D-Lo Buck. What's up? Josh J. 357. What's up, fam? I'll bet you Josh J. 357, that's Beskar Bullion. That would be my guess. This is kind of fun. Just like, subscribe, share, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel and share. Do I sound like a YouTuber now? All right, guys. Josh J. Oh my God, Silver Wolf medals. My brother coming in big on the Stackers Essay Contest. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the dual auction on Instagram as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit metals, and then I'm going to try and figure this out. Oh yeah, it's YouTube. Well, for now, until we can figure out some other things. But this is a great chance for me just to get the feel, to look at the camera, to see the comments are sort of to the side. What's up, Budget Bullion Stacker? Lots of Florida stackers indeed. All right, so let me just play with this a little bit. Participants, if I click that, okay. Very nice, okay. And then what? I got to go backwards. Guys, thank you so much for doing this and being my guinea pigs. Mike Chase, Nestor, SoFlo. That would be Dianellis, Mia Moore. All right, what's up, Charlie Mack, Silver, Poor, Flatline Racer. All right, let's talk a little bit about metals. And at any time, I'm going to try to answer any questions that I see popping up, right? So if you have any questions, feel free to just kind of, shoot it out. Um, I want to talk a little bit about silver, of course, and start by talking about where it comes from. So, why is it finite? Right? I mean, other resources here are, lumber and water. It sort of recycles and we can reduce, reuse, all these things, right? Water is a part of its own, the environmental ecosystem. But silver's formed from exploding stars. Silver comes from the heavens, guys. That's where a lot of these elements come from. They're formed into meteors. The meteors crashed on Earth, and we have mineral deposits. We have element deposits, gold, silver, all these things that are not actually naturally occurring on Earth per se, right? So, fossil fuels come from organic matter, all these things, but silver comes from the heavens. And there's definitely not any more. I think it's better to buy fractional because they're more liquid and the premiums are preserved. The premiums are preserved, in my opinion, right? If you buy right now, like I sell a lot of 110s around the 215, under 220 mark. And honestly, if you buy them and you want to sell them, you're going to get your money back. There's a big market for people in the under 220 market for 1/10 gold, right? Are all the mines tapped out right now? I don't think they're tapped out. I think that they are lowering production. COVID has an impact on that. Also, peak theory has an impact on that, right? So once the metals are here on Earth, what happens? We start a process that begins with mining, right? So it comes to the stars, comes to Earth, and then we go to mining. Uh, People metal detect now uh, to harvest silver and coins. Uh, so mining, one of the things people have to pay attention to, people try to make all these correlations between the Dow Jones or the dollar or this or that and silver, right? To me, I think some of the biggest correlations uh, that are really there that nobody pays attention to are oil and copper. Why oil? Because it's one of the biggest expenses in the mining process, right? So we'll talk more about that. But then why copper? Because there are only a couple dedicated. I saw that 29. There are only a couple dedicated silver mines on planet Earth. Okay, the rest of the silver comes from uh, a result of mining for copper. So these mines are mining for copper, and they pull silver out, and they separate the copper and the silver, and that's how the majority of silver is mined. Believe it or not, as a byproduct of copper mining. So if copper mining is going down, for any reason, whether it's a lack of demand or they're not finding deposits or hitting deposits. The truth is, watch out for silver supply. Two more. Let's go. Hey, Jay, how are you? We're definitely going to need to connect soon. I'm swamped this week. Right? So, watch copper, watch oil. Very important. Give me 1 second. I'm just checking my notes. Right? So, where does it go from the miners? So now they pull out all this ore out of the ground, right? And then they've got rough ore. It's mixed. There might be some copper in there. It might be some rock. They smash it. They put it through centrifuges. They really try to get it as close as possible, but it still has to go to a refiner. We hit 30, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow soda giants. I have to figure out how to do a giveaway now. Stick around. We're gonna do it. You have to be here to win because I don't know how else to tell if you were here or not as of now. 31. I love it, guys. So now once it goes to the refiner, this is a massive process. And one of the reasons I want to talk about this is because I want to get to the end of the conversation. I want to get to the disconnect between spot price and physical price. right? What we're paying in auctions, what we're paying from major retailers. I'm confused with who is who also. So I'm gonna wing it, guys. You know I'm all about the spirit of the gaw. It's not always perfect, but somebody gets an ounce of silver. That's all I know. And it's not silver poor. He's got enough. No, I'm kidding. You're eligible. Thank you guys. Your support means so much. And to see you here on YouTube, it's extra special, believe me. So now it goes to the refiner. And refining is more or less expensive on a spectrum based on the purity of what they are refining. It's going to be an important factor later in the conversation. I knew it was you, Dianellis. Rich Harris in the house. So once it gets refined, where does it go? Right? It can go to mints. It can go to industry because refiners usually can produce large bars. They can produce coins sometimes if they have that type of minting operation, like some do. Elemental, for example, has the ability to produce manufactured products post refining. For example, that being said, this is where spot price comes in. The refiners have to refine. They're the ones basically paying spot price and then to the miners, okay? Because spot is always like sort of a physical delivery. They may even pay slightly below spot because the spot price is typically for 5,000 ounce contracts deliverable. And that's why they actually call it spot. It means I'm getting it on the spot, right? Well, usually, with the postal service, it might take a couple days in some cases. But that's why it's called spot, because this is the price I'm paying to get it in my hands on the spot, right? So from refiners, you can go to industrial applications, which are about 60 to 70% of consumption, right? So in 2020, we had just shy of 800 million. I actually want to pull up the exact numbers because I always sort of wing it. But in 2020, okay, there were 797.8 million ounces mined. Okay, there was a demand of 991.8 million ounces. So that's a pretty big deficit. The rest of that comes from recycling, right? Which is what we call secondary market turning in, right? Yes, Jay Jeffrey, yes, you do. So the refiners get it from the mines, but they also get it from us, right? They will take grandma's sterling silverware set that the grandkids pilfered. Hopefully, no, we don't do that. We're not those kinds of degenerates. But they'll take the sterling, they'll refine it, make it into pure silver. They'll do the same with 90%. But the cost is very high, right? So when there's a deficit between mining and production and demand, and that supply gap has to be filled by the secondary market, it's very important to understand what you have that's useful to those refiners. Everybody says, well, what happens if silver hits $50 an ounce, $70 an ounce, and nobody's going to be buying it? Two things. One, people will always buy fractionals. Maybe they're not going to pay $70 an ounce, but you know what? Maybe their budget allows them to buy a half ounce at a time, $35. And as that gap between mining production and industrial consumption and stacking consumption increases, as that gap increases, you're going to see strains on the physical market. And I want to talk about strains on the physical market a little bit more also, right? Because what happens? So after, the refiners refine the silver, it can either go to industrial applications or it can go to mints. Mints produce for collectors, they produce for governments, they produce money, bullion, investment grade, as they call it, bullion, right? And those are the two routes the silver can take at that point. We're on the second part of that route. We have a longer sort of road that weaves there, because if it goes to industry, they're producing it, they're formatting it for the computer that I'm on, for the iPad that I have next to me, for the cell phone that I have next to me, for the television that's over there, for the other computer that's over there, for the other iPad that's over there. But all these things have silver in them, guys. Refiners typically charge 10 to 15% of final product. Turn in enough sterling to get 100 ounces. They send you 85 to 90. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade. 85 for 92.5. Okay, that's not horrible. Empire Precious Metals, one of my inspirations, right there. Stormy, you're awesome, brother. I don't know what a blue wrench is. This is just my first hit, and I'm sort of going from the hip. So if it goes to industry, it kind of ends up in front of us in this way, right? We're still going to see these manifestations of that route. The other route, after it leaves the refiner, goes to mints, but then what? It has to go to wholesalers, it has to go to retailers, has to come to Stacking NYC on Instagram, and then it goes to you, right? No, but there are all these outlets then, right? And all these outlets have expenses. The refiner sending it to the mint sending it to the wholesaler sending it to the retailer, postage, carrying charges, storage, you name it. The costs are expensive. And as we all know, there is such a thing as inflation. And it's kicking in. As the dollar gets devalued, inflation tends to rise. So stay tuned. It's one of the things that make us want to hold silver in our hand, right? It's important. We know that if it's held, it can't be manipulated, it can't be devalued. We hold it, we own it, right? So the disconnect between the spot price and the physical price. First of all, none of us are buying, that I know of, 5,000 ounce deliverable contracts. Usually they're delivered in 1,000 ounce bars. You're not getting 5,000 American Silver Eagles. You're getting like big chunks, right? Hey, Jonathan Rodriguez in the house. Wrench is for moderators, Tommy. Yeah, I'd love to give you a wrench. I think. I think. Empire Precious Metals. I do know who you are. All right. I do need some set design. I was gonna roll out my Silver Degenerates backdrop. Let me do this. Does that help a little bit? I was gonna roll out my Silver Degenerates backdrop, and it kind of like folded inside of itself. But that's another story. So now that you understand all these places, right, that the silver has to travel, miner, refiner, mint, wholesaler, retailer, Instagram, right? Let's talk about some things that are possible and not possible in all these processes. All right. Click your name. I'm trying. No. All right. We'll talk about it. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Guido Stacking in the house. Thanks for joining, man. So you have all these costs, right? Now, all right, yeah, I definitely need some set design here. Takeaways, guys. This is why we do it. But yeah, so you have all these paths for the silver to travel, and that's where premiums start to develop. They begin the refiners charging the mints, and the mints charging the wholesalers, and the wholesalers charging the retailers, and the retailers charging the consumer, us, you, we, right? Hit that like button. Stormy, tell me if I'm doing this right. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Share. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Share with your friends and family. YouTube. Yeah, I like it. I can get used to this. But certainly, there are lots of costs associated with that. Now, let's talk a little bit about spot manipulation and the true price of silver. Some people will tell you that the true price of silver should be $1,000 an ounce, and gold should be 2,500, and this and that, and what's more rare, what's less rare, and it becomes a conversation. And yeah, you see what I'm doing. It becomes a conversation, and community stickers. The people like to have a scapegoat, right? So understanding that silver is a commodity that's primary use is in industrial applications. Number one amongst those is photovoltaic, right? Solar panels, right? There's about an ounce of silver in every major commercial solar panel. And people talk about manipulation. First of all, I will say this. Manipulation is real. It is a fact. They use a technique at the commodities desks. They use a technique called spoofing, right? Which is where they place massive fake contracts that cause a price to spike. They play long and make the profit from that rise because other people are jumping in. And then because that contract doesn't exist, they can then short their own contracts and the price crashes. And they can make money doing that. And it's highly illegal. And people have indeed gone to jail. Now, here's the thing. It can manipulate in a microcosm. It can manipulate, that type of illegal activity can manipulate in a very short period of time. What it cannot do is take a commodity that's meant to be market value $1,000 an ounce and make it 26. That's not true, right? So when people ask me what the true price of silver is, I say, look at spot price. Nobody, not even the major banks, can manipulate a market with hundreds of millions of ounces of consumed, either through industry or coins, right? Ounces of silver. The market is too dynamic. It cannot be manipulated at that level. A little bit, absolutely. Will we ever go back to $17 silver? Stanislaus, the price of silver is what it is. I don't think we're ever going to go back to $17 silver, and I'm gonna take that a step further because this is the next thing I want to talk about. So if you take it that spot price is the true price of silver for the most part, right? This is not denying that manipulation exists. It's just a statement of reality on what manipulation can do, right? If silver's supposed to be $1,000 an ounce, if I were Apple or JP Morgan Chase, I mean, who's already hoarding it, they would drive the price up just in their demand, right? If JP Morgan Chase knew that silver's true price was $1,000 an ounce, they would never ever let any ounce hit anywhere but their vaults at $26. The market stays what it is. Oh, cracking me to death. I'm on YouTube, baby. No hands. I don't know where that came from. So I do believe that manipulation exists. That's a statement of fact. But I don't believe that it can have a long-term impact on the spot price in terms of the free market. Apple needs what it needs. JP Morgan wants what it wants in its vaults. Tesla needs what it needs. So on and so forth. Go down your list. IBM, you name it. Stackers, we're about 30 to 40% max of silver consumption. Actually, probably less if you count jewelry. And we actually have a bigger impact on price manipulation. We can talk about that too. So 40 people, thank you, each and every one of you. My Lord, I love you guys. I definitely, Stanislaus, you can't over manipulate hundreds of millions of ounces year after year after year after year, right? Consumption is what it is, certainly. That being said, and it really actually made me a little bit nervous with the whole Wall Street bets, silver squeeze thing, because I want to talk about that. There was something very good about that. And it's something that, to me, has been one of my goals since I started on Instagram, and that's to make silver a little bit more exciting, right? I think that it's really exciting. It's art, it's a hobby, it's history, it's all these things that stimulate us on many levels. And hey, man, it's shiny. I love it. Yeah. I want to hear what did our brothers do when you have Apple money? There comes a point when the government approaches you and wants to have a talk about where you're going to park your loot. I would guess you'd get a line on silver. That could very well be true. But with the whole Wall Street bets thing, right? It was an interesting thing that happened. It was sort of like a perfect storm. For the last year, premiums have been spiking. Premiums, remember, that's the cost above spot that's applied at each level of the supply chain, right? The mint adds a little bit, the wholesaler adds a little bit, the retailer adds a little bit. That's all premiums, right? And you pay the ultimate premium as the consumer because you're paying for all that cost built into there at one point or another. Um, wow, Wall Street bets, the silver squeeze. You cannot manipulate the price, the spot price of silver. What can happen though is you can manipulate premiums because unprecedented demand will increase the pressure on the supply chains. Will increase pressure to the supply chains, right? So if a mint can only produce X million a year, then that's all they can produce. If and people talk about manipulation of rising prices and retailers changing premiums, you have to. You have to. If a mint can only produce so much, and then they have to hire extra people or this or that, they've got to raise that, right? Same, they've got to throttle demand somehow. That's the basic laws of supply and demand. If a supply is static and manufacturing ability is static and demand keeps going up, what happens? Prices go up. That's Econ 101, guys. And it's very important to know that the Hunt brothers did try to corner the silver market, and it had a similar effect as the whole Wall Street bets thing. But it was an interesting time in 1980. We were coming out of the really severe economic downturn of the 70s. 1980, Ronald Reagan was elected. We were coming into some very strong economic times. Silver hit $50 an ounce in 80. That was incredible. It also hit $50 an ounce in 2011, right? There was something I wanted to talk to you about that, right? So when you have a disconnect between the physical price of a commodity and the paper price of a commodity through premiums, okay, and you've seen this many times throughout stacking history. One of the times that's more recent was like the 2008 to 2011 cycle. There was such a big disconnect between premiums and the spot price of silver during that time that they actually started to track it. The only way they could was through eBay. eBay sold prices, and they called it the eBay index. And they were saying, geez, if silver is $16 an ounce, so think more like 2008, $14 an ounce, something like that. And why is silver selling at $25 an ounce on eBay? Well, there's a reason for that, because people couldn't get it. That's the simple answer. The demand was outstripping the physical supply. And what happened? It led to 2011, the run-up. I think we're in a very similar cycle, guys. I've talked about this many times. Last year, we had a similar dip in 2020. Remember, in like, was it March, April? Silver crashed sub 12. Similar thing happened in 2008. I think we're in that cycle. The gold's color. Any other place to buy from you other than the Insta Screw? Cannot stand Facebook products. My website will be coming back online. I want to thank each and every one of the 40 people in here tonight. Thank you all. Thank you all. Guys, there's 40 of you in here. I should have 40 likes at least. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe, share. I gotta practice this. Thanks. I love you guys. Thanks for bearing with me. The people by demand control the premium. That is 100% correct. Ultimately, right now, retailers, sometimes there are price wars, right? How does that come into play? Well, they have loss leaders, a lot of bullion companies. Who remembers like a few years ago? Uh, give me a thumbs up if you remember. Up until a few years ago, you could go to the major retailers, JM Bullion, SD Bullion, and you could get like the 10 ounces at spot offer. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. Demand has skyrocketed, but that was a way that they would put out a loss leader, right, to try to win customers. Bullion relationships are very important. Think about it, guys. When you make big purchases, right, and I stay away from the I word. If you buy houses, if you buy cars, if you buy this, you always try to stick with the same people. You build relationships on trust, and in the bullion world, it's no exception. It's very important. And that's why they do loss leaders, or they did. They can't afford to do it anymore because they're not losing a couple dollars anymore. The rates have gone up like crazy. But there's no like button on the live. I don't know. Uh, thanks, Josh. But definitely, premiums are not going anywhere. Not from what I'm seeing. I can tell anecdotes for days. I think I told this in one of my Instagram lives about one of my wholesalers. Medium-sized dealer, family operation, been in business 50 years. They have a 30,000 ounce a week purchase contract with one of the private mints, and he was telling me, Tommy, he says they treat us like garbage. We buy 30,000 ounces a week. We're committed to buy 30,000 ounces a week, and we're treated like garbage. That's intense, because the demand is that high. It's really crazy. And is it going anywhere? I don't see it. Close and come back. Then you'll see the like button. Oh, there we go. We're getting some likes now, baby. So as demand rises, premium rises, but not necessarily spot. But when the demand is there, and as we open back up, stay tuned for more economic activity, which will lead to more industrial demand. I think we're in a perfect storm. Guys. Spot's definitely slower to rise, but rise it does with economic activity and increased demand from stackers. That's it. That's the two-prong attack we all need. So one of the things I want to talk about also is sort of a warning, right? The warning is based on using the I word, and it's one of the things I tried to change with the Silver Degenerates movement. Oftentimes, your biggest emotional motivators in the investment world are fear and regret, whether it's the fear of missing out, the fear of not getting in, fast enough at the right price, or regret. Oh, I shouldn't have sold it so soon. Oh, I should have held on to it longer, or this or that. Fear and regret are the most powerful motivators. I think that one of my approaches has been to shed that. And I'll tell you why. My approach has been to approach, is that redundant? To approach stacking as a hobby. Because when we do it as a hobby, we're doing it with joy. And joy lasts. It lasts. If you truly love what you're doing, it lasts. And it'll keep your demand strong. It'll keep your love for the products and what we do strong. Fear and regret lead to something that's called capitulation. What's capitulation? when people are doing this out of a motivation of greed, for lack of a better word, or the I word, or FOMO, or I'm going to get, right? What happens is you buy silver at $50 an ounce, you're mortgaging your house to get it. And then you're disgusted when silver drops. Silver's half of what it was in 2011, guys. And the people who treated it like the I word, right? They're crying. But people who did it out of joy and love and passion and legacy, they're not to this day. And that's why I approach you from a place of joy, from a place of love, because that's what I feel like when I look at my pieces, you know, and I see these pieces from around the world. These are from the Royal Mint. Actually, a lot of these are from the Royal Mint. Kind of some asides I pulled out from all the different countries, the different history, all these things. Man, I'm telling you, uh, it lasts. It lasts. For me, between the product and the people, it keeps me getting up early every day, keeps me going to bed late every night, and loving almost every minute of it. So, Calvin, I was just thinking of you. I was looking at your sticker earlier. I got the Bolts Design sticker. I think you can see it. It's right there. Wait. No. Oh, I'm backwards. Oh, wait a second. Wait, cables, it's right there. Silverport, I got one of your old ones. I think it's right there. Oh, that's weird. All right, guys. So, guys, the message is understand how metals move from the heavens into our hands. That's why we're really fixated. These come to us from God. Uh, understand how metals move, understand how our behavior impacts prices and how it doesn't. Filter out the garbage, stack with joy, stack with love, and you won't be disappointed. Now, as promised, I said I would do a giveaway if we hit 30 people. My Lord Dios mio. So I got to figure out how to do this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I think I hit this button called participants. All right, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm 16, 17, 19. I don't understand. Looks like there's only 19 people in here. Stormy, are you in here? Because I'm not sure why it looks, when I look at, there's like a little people thing that seems to be going up and down. It says 42 right now. Okay, it says 42 right now, but when I click participants, I only see like 20. So how can I do a giveaway? I see 44 at the moment. I see 44 at the moment, but when I click, maybe they're my subscribers. When I click participants, Oh, wait a second. Why is it? Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, I definitely see 42. I want to make sure everybody gets counted. They got to type in the chat. Oh, so only those people have typed in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, Calvin Bolts, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25, not me, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 30 people have participated in the chat. Is that what you're saying? All right. So everybody type something. If you're here, half are shy tonight. If you're here, type something. The letter A, raise the roof. Yeah, something. If you haven't commented yet, comment. Say something. I'm even going to say something. I love you guys. Something. Say something. Yeah, baby. Let's go. All right. If you're hearing me, do it, because I'm going to click participants. I'm going to click participants, and we're going to give away some silver. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That list just grew, baby. Holy cow. Yes, let's see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42. Holy cow. All right, I'm going to add an extra one just in case. Guys, I'm going to random.org as we speak, and they're in alphabetical order. And I'm doing it from 1 to 43. All right, now hold on one second. I don't know how to do this so that you guys can see it. Like this? Well, I guess you'll just have to take my word. That's not going to work, is it? All right, guys, you're going to have to take my word. The number is 20. 20 is the number, and I start, and I'll call out the names as I go. 518 Micropore, you were number 1. Elaine, number 2. Beskar, number 3. Bodine, number 4. Brett Pittman, number 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 was Clint White. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 was Goonie Stackers. Goonie Stackers was 15. Goonie Stackers was 15. 16, 17, 18, 19. No way. Calvin Bolts? Calvin Bolts. Holy cow. We were just talking about you. Number 20, Calvin Bolts. That was awesome. I was just talking about you. My Lord. All right, hold on, because I can't see the comments. Number 20 was the winner, Calvin Bolts. Been a while, brother. It pays to come into the YouTube live, stacking.nyc, baby. Guys, let me write that down, otherwise I'll forget. I'll never forget. Calvin Bolts, guys, give him a follow. He does some really cool stuff. He pours. He does really beautiful jewelry work, minerals. He's into lots of things, and a great guy. Thanks, Calvin. I really appreciate you, man. Glad you were subbed too, brother. Let me write those down. I guess I should have a pen handy. And guys, if you're hearing me, give me a subscribe, a like, a comment, and a share. See, I'm getting this down. Subscribe and share. Love it. Guys, thank you. Calvin, you're awesome, brother. And it's somebody I know from Instagram. All right, let me ask one more question, guys, before I sign out. JP Metals in the house. Love you, brother. If you, and this is okay, if you do not, I'm just curious, if you do not follow me on Instagram, if you're not on Instagram, if you're just a YouTube person, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. I'm just curious. Is there anybody here? My pleasure. R.A. Grizz. Is that Grizzly Stacker? If you're just a YouTube person, give me a thumbs up. I'm just curious on what I'm dealing with here. Just curious. In Metals We Trust. Follow for both. Thank you, Rob. Russell, I appreciate you, man. I do. Stanislaus, thank you. Brett Pittman. No, I'm saying if you're only the gold's color. So you're just YouTube, man. I want to thank you. I don't know if YouTube, do they do names? In my lives on Instagram, I ask people what their names are. There we go. Adam, there we go. I got it. Yeah, I'm just curious if anybody is here just from YouTube. Gotcha, Gambit. Lots of love, Nate. I appreciate you guys coming from Instagram for this. What do you guys think about the format? Now, this is just my inaugural night. I joked to the people that said they were going to join me. I'm like, thanks for being a guinea pig. It wasn't too far off. But I will be developing this a little bit more. I will be making it a little bit more fun. I will be doing giveaways here on YouTube, and I would like to use this more as a content platform. So I definitely want to talk to you all. Instagram is more my home, but like I said, this is where I'm looking to do a little bit more content. Yeah, Josh, you're not alone. I never was on social media until Instagram for the most part. I mean, I did a little bit of Facebook and then got the whole political scene on Facebook. It's just to me. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Definitely. But guys, thank you. I think it works. I think this is something that's going to be worth it for me to invest a little bit more time into, to invest a little bit more effort into, because I think you'll enjoy it. I think I'll enjoy it. And this is the kind of content in my heart of hearts I believe you guys deserve. Good, respectful, educational, entertaining talks back and forth. In the future, I'm gonna expand on this. Maybe I'll have somebody here helping me with comments. I'd like to start doing almost a podcast format here, where I bring people live with me to have discussions. We have some greats, industry greats that are active and engaged in our community. Guys like Miles Standish, guys like Edmund Moy, they're there. We have industry retail leaders doing their thing, guys. It's really the backdrop. My backdrop, unfortunately, it went inside of itself. I was gonna break it out tonight, so I got to get on that. But and the stickers. We got the stickers, right? But you know what? I was thinking about doing this from my living room or my dining room, and I said no place but the vault, the Stacking NYC vault, baby. This is where we produce and where we come to the people. All right, so thank you, Matt. I appreciate you, brother. Well, it is part of the plan, Dean Ellis. I have a lot of plans. It's just a matter of growing at a pace where I can, sustain it financially, and not kill myself time wise. I do work a lot, guys. As much as you love it, yeah, 5 hours of sleep catches up to you. But it really, the passion fuels me. You guys fuel me. The search for the beautiful product fuels me. It's just amazing. Open to vault. Let's see. You'll see tomorrow night. You'll see Monday night, baby. Love you, John. It's amazing, guys. But thank you. You guys have any questions? Love you, Paul. Thank you for your support. Brett, all you guys in here, man. Nate, John, Mike, all you guys. Thank you. Dianellis, Charlie. I'm not going to auction anything up. I was just happy giving something away tonight. But you know what? Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll do it. We'll do it. You know what I kind of like also? For you guys, here's a question I have for you guys. When you're watching me and you're watching this, where are you seeing the comments? Are they on the screen like they are on Instagram, or are they somewhere to the side? So do the comments kind of like scroll up and cover my eye, or that's a question I have for you guys. So they're to the right. So like they are for me. So I have to sort of go off the screen. So on Instagram, it's like I can read it like this. Here, I'm sort of like this. Yours are below the video. They get their own box to the right. I love it. Yes, Nick, thank you. Do that. Depends on how you have your phone, off to the side, down below. Depends. You can choose to see them. Wheat and silver, good one. Saca plata down below. Abajo. Some people are watching on their PC. Some people are watching on their TV. Some people are watching on their phones. Nick DeStefano just sent me a photo. As you know, guys, I multitask. Cal, I'm so glad you won. Ooh, oh my God, I shouldn't have opened that. It's like 35 DMs. No, I love you guys. Oh, cool. All right. And I look less washed out in your image. to me than I do in my own image to myself, if that makes sense. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, John. That's very helpful. Flatline Racer, Charlie Mack, down below. Thank you. Very helpful. This is stuff, guys, as I learn. Thank you. Stacking 209. Love you, brother. And when you flip, it changes text orientation. I like it. I like it. Thank you, guys. This is amazing. Very helpful to see what you're seeing. Very helpful. Thank you. So, all right, guys, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I'm really grateful for your time tonight. It really means a lot. Thank you for the coaching. Thank you for everything. This was a good test run. I feel really good about it. I really do. And I'm just going to say good night, and I'll see you again soon. How you stacking?